Supreme Lord Krishna, he's in the second chapter, he described many shlokas which explain how soul is eternal in nature. So all these explanations are being given. But the problem here is that can we explain this philosophy, even though it is correct, to a person who is lamenting? Just assume that somebody in your family passes away and you see that many of the relatives are lamenting, crying. Will you be able to speak this philosophy that you are not this body, you are a soul, the soul never dies, the soul always remains eternal? Uh, we cannot speak all these things. And at the same philosophy, when we see that Arjuna was lamenting and Krishna is trying to explain this philosophy of the soul, what happens there? Our Acharya says that again Krishna has to come back to the philosophy of common sense, that hatova praptyasi swargam. That means if you die in this battlefield, you will go to the swarga. So the philosophy of higher subject matter doesn't uh, doesn't appeal to the person who is lamenting. So for that purpose, we cannot speak the higher subject matter when the situation is not favorable. As we see from the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has to resort lower understanding of explaining why Arjuna should fight rather than some place. We generally don't speak about the soul and other things. Generally, while giving a class, we may speak, but while consoling those persons, we don't say that, oh, the soul is eternal, you should not lament and other things. We generally tend to say some different things by which it will be easier for them to come out of that lamenting situation. So I will just like to ask you, you must have also faced the situation where you went to that place where somebody passed away, their loved one is passed away. So you must have consoled them in some way. What you generally speak, how you console them? Anybody like to share? Yes, Mataji. Okay, okay. Yes, we're there with you. Don't be afraid. Whenever you want us, we are here. Yes. Thank you. Yes, Mataji, what you are trying to say? Yes.
And the more we can more amount of kirtan or something like that, that will soothe everyone.
That suits everyone. Yes, actually speaking, we do generally the same thing. We don't preach them. We generally try to alleviate their loss by speaking some words of consolation and giving them the uh, confidence that you are not alone. We are there in your loss. So that kind of approach is always appreciated. Generally, we see that many people, when in such situation, they say that, oh, whatever has happened, it is Krishna's desire or God's desire. What we can do in such circumstance? Rather, we should focus now on your children's, their education. If you become so disheartened and if you give up the desire to live and other things, who will look after these people? who are dependent on you. So generally, many of the times when we speak to these people, we generally tend them to give the sense of responsibility, right? Rather than going deeper into the lamentation aspect, we try to elevate them by giving them the higher sense of responsibility, that you have something more than just to lament. You have a lot of responsibility there. So this way, if we try to console them, that works more nicely. And duty nature. From there, you may then ask them to come to the standard of philosophical discussion. But when you are in the stage of lamentation, you cannot discuss all these things. But lamentation, uh, when we now the phase of lamentation is over. Now let us speak about the philosophical aspect of this discussion. Now, when a person dies, who we lament for? Do we lament for the loss of the body, or do we lament for the loss of the soul?
In like mainly it is like we are losing something from them, otherwise we will not lament.
Yeah.
In my mother's case, her love affection, it is and her consoling nature, and if I come there, I can stay with her for some days. So I'm losing all those things, that's why I lament.
So you lamented not because she died, because but you lost that
Lost.
relationship,
Yeah.
that affection you have lost. That's why you're lamenting. You're saying to
Not
that
only that, affection, that part is also secondary.
secondary.
Main thing is what I get from her.
Okay, why? Yes, yes. What I get from her, that is a perfect point which we are discussing here. Who for whom we are lamenting actually? The body is there lying. If you are loving that body, then why you're trying to cremate it? Keep it as it is. Save it. Put it into the box. Decorate it nicely. If you are lamenting for the body, if you love that body, then keep it. Save it. But we generally don't do that. Just like I remember one devotee, when in his lecture he was saying this wonderful story, that once he went to a house where somebody died there, and the Mataji of that person, or the wife of that person, she was lamenting so much that she is not allowing her husband to go for the cremation. She is saying, no, he's just sleeping. He is going to wake up now. I will not allow him to cremate. He is my husband. And she was crying and not allowing the body to go for cremation. So one of the house members said, okay, keep it with you. Keep this body with you. Take him to the bedroom, and you both stay in the bedroom. We will not take that body here. And let us all go. Spend one night with that body in front of you. Now that woman, that Mataji, after that she realized, I cannot stay with the dead body. Even though she had stayed for 25, 30 years with the same person, with the same body, this body is not the person whom I am loving. It is the body. Now it is separated from that my loved person. So I am not loving this body. I am the loving the person. No, we are not loving the body. We are loving the person who is making that body active. But at the same time, there's another question arises. If we love the soul, or if we love the person who is actually driving that body, then the soul is eternal. And let us assume that we came to know that somehow the by mystic power we came to know that this soul is been transferred to some other body. Came to know by some mystical power. What you will do? Now ask a wife whose husband's body is transferred to a small baby's body. Will she have the same, uh, what to say, conjugal affection for that baby? No. Even the soul is there, but still she doesn't have that kind of relationship with that person. So actually speaking, even the soul, even we say that we love the person in that body, when we realize that person is in some other body, still we will not have the same kind of affection and feeling for that person there, because the body is changed. The soul is there. The soul remains the same, but now the body is different. We cannot have the same kind of affection which we used to have before. So as Mataji said, actually we are not loving the body, we are not loving the soul also, but it is a relationship or that emotions, emotional dealings which we are having with that person. That is what we are loving actually. And when it stops, we feel lamentation. Factually speaking, we are all selfish. In one sense, we are all selfish. As long as I am getting benefit, because as long as I am feeling better from that person's relationship, till that time I love that person. I have affection for that person. As soon as that feeling is stopped, my happiness, my whatever I expecting from that person is stopped. We start hating that person. So, factually speaking, everything about the other person's birth, date, or whatever, is revolving around us only. How we are perceiving the things, accordingly, we either feel happiness or feel sorrow. So, in one sense, when we look at everything, it is so selfish that we are not actually crying for that person. We are actually crying that I lost that happiness which I am deriving from that person. And that's why we are crying, we are lamenting. That is how a conditioned soul thinks. When we lose somebody, the conditioned soul thinks in this way, or the conditioned soul is supposed to think in that way, actually. He is actually crying not because of the loss of the person, he is crying because he lost that uh, happiness which is deriving from that person, and that's why he's in a sorrow mood. So but this is about the conditioned soul. Do the devotee also feel lamentation if somebody passes away? Do the devotee also feel lamentation? Yes, devotee also feel lamentation. The reason is that the devotee has a different perspective to see. He is stop getting happiness from that person. The devotee sees that another person who was helping me in my devotion life is no longer there to support me. And for that purpose, he feels lamented. The reason is that as a devotee, our relationship is based on the how we together advance in spiritual life. Srila Prabhupada also says, in a devotee sangha, we generally discuss Krishna Katha. The reason is that by discussing, uh, what is that shloka? Uh, Bodhayaste param paraspar. Uh, in that discussing about Krishna, we are actually progressing our spiritual life. So that kind of devotee association is helping us progress towards Krishna. And when we lose that person who is helping me, naturally for a devotee, that is a stage of lamentation. When a spiritual master leaves this material world, the reason the disciple also lament, not because he is thinking of, oh, I lost material gain from him. He actually feels disheartened because now how I will uh, advance in my spiritual life in his absence, because he was since he was there, he was helping me advance in my spiritual life. He was encouraging me whenever I was feeling disheartened in my spiritual practices. So for that purpose we are feeling disheartened, and that's why the devotee also feel lamentation. So it is not that only conditioned soul they are lamenting, oh, these are fool peoples, these are the foolish people, just like here it is said somewhere I read. uh, ah, in next shloka number 44, Yamraj continued, oh lamenters, you are all fools. Yamraj says you are all fool because you are lamenting for the body. So the devotees are not fools in terms of the how conditioned soul thinks. We are not fools. Devotees are lamenting on the stage and the platform of advancement in spiritual life. So, being said that, again, even devotee laments. Sometimes devotees also laments. Now, why the devotee laments? Devotee doesn't laments for the loss when a person who is advanced, more advanced, you may say an Uttam Bhakta Adhikari, Uttam Adhikari, he also laments. Now, you may say that how an Uttam Adhikari can lament? Yes, Uttam Adhikari also laments, but he laments not for himself, but he laments for by seeing how conditioned souls are suffering. He is thinking that these conditioned souls, they are going through so many troubles, so many difficulties because they are not getting connected with Krishna. They are not getting Krishna consciousness, and that's why they are going through so many difficulties in this material world. He is lamenting because he is not giving, or he is feeling, limited by not able to help them out. Just like in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I have only two hands and there are so many fruits of Krishna consciousness. How much alone I can distribute it? Please help me to distribute this Krishna consciousness. That is also a lamentation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is lamenting that I have only two hands to distribute. And he's requesting all of his followers to help him to distribute this Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada also, when Prabhupada was preaching, he was also saying that I am an old man. How much I can do? But you are such a young people. You can do so many things more than me. Help these people to spread Krishna consciousness. So, even the devotees, a person in the Uttam Adhikari stage, they also laments. So, the lamentation, when we speak about the lamentation, it is not the lamentation is the nature of the fool people or the conditioned souls. The nature of lamentation may be different, but the lamentation is still there. So, from this discussion of Suyadnya and the death of the Suyadnya and lamentation of the wife, we understand from this full episode that there will be lamentation in every stages of life. From Kanishta Adhikari stage to the Uttam Adhikari stage, you will observe people are lamenting. I just now remember one of the incident of Madhvendra Puri. He was also lamenting. But how two disciples, one is Ramchandra Puri and another is Ishwar Puri, how they perceived the lamentation of Madhvendra Puri. How they perceive? Ramchandra Puri thought, oh, at this stage of life also, my Guru Maharaj is lamenting. That means he didn't achieve the spiritual, uh, what to say, spiritual standard. And Ishwar Puri, he also saying his spiritual master lamenting, but he realized that lamentation is different. So if we find some devotee who is lamenting, we should not it happens that we may commit an offense also. So this emotion, the lamentation is an emotion, and a soul is not bereft of emotions. We all have emotions. To say that after getting spiritual insight or having a spiritual advancement, a person remains becomes emotionless. He doesn't lament. He doesn't It's not like that. We have emotion. We are persons, and persons have emotions. Even at the stage of higher spiritual understanding, there at that stage also, this emotion gets purified, and material we are conditioned nature. But the same emotion, when we spiritualize it, that emotion is desirable because that emotion is what actually attracts Krishna. Even at the time of Uddhav, when he came to Vrindavan, he was discussing about Krishna. He's explaining the message of Krishna, and Radharani was also lamenting. The Brahmar Gita was said there. She was also lamenting, but her lamentation is different compared to the normal people. So ultimately, the conclusion is that the emotions expressed by a conditioned soul and emotions expressed by a spiritual personality both externally appears to be same, but there is a lot of difference there. So we should not, as a third person or as an observer, we should not judge somebody's emotions. Oh, he's he's not advanced, or oh, he's lamenting. We should appreciate it. Rather, we should try to know on what is his uh, position by which he's lamenting so much, or what is this that his emotion is express giving him the happiness. Even that lamentation is a nature of happiness only. One may say that how a person crying is happy. It is not, just like when devotee asked Prabhupada, when Prabhupada in the passports of Prabhupada, the photo of Prabhupada was one devotee asked Prabhupada, in this photo you feel sad. You appears to be very sad. What is the matter? Prabhupada said, no, I am in ecstasy. Prabhupada said. So it may appear a person is going through a patch of rough time, but it may not be. Maybe it is a different thing. Uh, Especially as a person who are into the preaching mission of Srila Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we should cultivate this lamentation. Actually, we should cultivate this lamentation. Sometimes we see that as there is a wonderful shloka in the same canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj praying to Lord Nrsingadev that I see so many advanced transcendentalists. They go to the Himalayas and Nirjan places and perform their own bhajans, not caring for the conditioned soul in this material world. I don't wish to have any other boon, but I wish that I should deliver all these people. As long as there is last person in this material world, I wish to remain here and deliver them to come back home, back to Godhead. That is the mood of a devotee. A devotee is lamenting that that why these people are here, why they are not going to the spiritual world. So that is what the mission of Srila Prabhupada is also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the same mission. And since we are in the same parampara, we are also in the same parampara. Our Guru Maharaj also have the same mood. Our parampara have the same mood. And if a disciple also take on the mood, naturally all the blessings of Guru Maharaj also arrives with that. So it is a very important aspect for the people of Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, especially the people of the ISKCON. We are not into the bhajan anandis, we are into preaching mode. Rather than stopping ourselves by saying, oh, I am not qualified enough to preach, I'm not qualified enough to speak. One should not, that is, that humility will not help. Although it appears that you are so humble, but what is the use of that humility if that humility is not helping us to serve in the mission of Srila Prabhupada? So rather than saying that, I will stay here, or what to say, I do my own bhajan because I'm not qualified. No, one should preach in any way possible. Srila Prabhupada and even Guru Maharaj, Param Pujya Radha Maharaj used to say, even a person who is sitting at the reception office, he is also preaching. Even a person who has a smiling face and chanting Hare Krishna mantra, he is also preaching. So preaching can be done in many ways, but one should be doing preaching. If he is not doing preaching, that means he is not understanding the mood and the the mood of the parampara, factually speaking. So in this case, the lamentation, when we are speaking about the lamentation, we should have that mood of lamentation always. Not lamentation of not of this body, but lamenting how we can help the conditioned soul to advance in Krishna consciousness by approaching as wide as possible to preach this message. Hare Krishna. I'm over time. I hope there are no questions. Yes, Prabhu.
Uh, Thank you, Sri Vallabh for a very, we don't usually discuss this topic so much, but nice presentation on lamentation. No, at materialistic level, I know it's, you lament because the facilities has gone, who will provide? So I was just thinking about this one lady, there was a movie made on her. Her husband was a soldier and he died. And she just not even married, just married it. But she had that opportunity to get married again, but she never got married. So it's a great sacrifice, but remaining like this, So what type of lamentation, I mean, attachment, but only if she had proper knowledge, she could have channelized that to something. So this, I was just thinking about this. My question was, do you experience any time in your teaching that you get an opportunity and you realize it later that you lost that opportunity? So why does it happen? You had a very nice opportunity to preach, but that time you didn't think like this. Oh, this is a great opportunity. But you realize it later. Oh, I lost an opportunity. So my question is, why does it happen that way? At time Krishna should make us feel okay, this opportunity, let him preach. But you don't preach that time. Does it happen like that?
Yes, bro.
So how do you reconcile to yourself? Why does it happen like that?
Yes, bro.
I mean, do you
Yes, bro. We
you lament?
yes,
You
we
lament.
lament. We lament.
Oh, such an opportunity gone. I could have used this opportunity.
Yes, bro. Thing is that it does happens, and many times when I ponder upon it, that what a blunder I made. It because of ego only, bro. Actually, when the opportunity arises, it may happen that we may have certain egoistical issue with certain things. Oh, just now I was discussing with our Keshwanand Prabhu. He was saying, Prabhu, there is time is there. मतलब time हो गया. अभी जाके बैठो class देना. I said, unless I get 100 people, I will not speak. So I was just joking with him, but I realized that sometimes we tend to give up this preaching tendency, or sorry, not preaching opportunity. We tend to give up because of a certain ego. That why I should speak with this crowd, or why should I preach to? I will only preach to a certain elite class of people, or I will not preach because this is not my area. So that kind of egoistical behavior is there, because of which we lose the opportunity to speak Krishna Katha. And when I ponder upon it, sometimes when I realize it, oh, I have lost this opportunity, then I feel that rather than this ego is such a nasty thing, Prabhu, that when Krishna comes with giving us the opportunity to serve him, we generally कहते हैं इसको, जब लक्ष्मी स्वयं आ रही है तो हम मुंह धोने चले जाते हैं. That kahavat is there. So Lakshmi is personally coming to tilak us, and we are saying, no, no, I want to go and wash my face. So it appears in that way because of certain egoistical mindset which we are having about preaching area, preaching people, or with some other devotees. We tend to give up that. It's ego only. And then I realize, and then I feel lamented, and then I feel that we have to overcome from it. I'm working on it, then, bro. I'm working on it also. Is there anything else you like to add on that?
You perfectly told, I think, maybe ego and all. But sometimes I think that opportunities also realized later. At that time, you don't realize the opportunity.
Can you give some example? Like,
Like suppose you were at some place and there was an opportunity, there was an opportunity to preach. But that time you were in your own ignorance mode. You didn't take advantage of it. But after the next day, when you realize, oh, God, that was a great opportunity. Why did I just. So why Lord makes you remind the next day? Why you could have inspired me that day itself, not? This happens several times. You are in the opportunity, but you don't use it. But next day you realize, oh. So why next day you realize? Why not that time only you realize?
maybe some senior devotees here may answer it. Rup Raghunath Prabhu, would like to answer?
I feel because we are conditioned soul, it's a phase we have to go through and correct ourselves. Sometimes it's ego, sometimes the lethargy, sometimes just Yeah, sometimes we have opportunity, just may not be ego. Sometimes ego, but sometimes it's just lethargy. ठीक है बाद में देखेंगे. Or sometimes we just mind gives reasons. कि not too much rush. I'm in hurry, and sometimes I have my own other things to do.
Engagements, my own
Yeah, I
priorities.
have to chant or I have to go fast. Yeah, sometimes we just yeah yeah many times yeah, and we realize and then we pray and overcome it. We have to practice अभ्यास में तो कोणते वैराग्याने जिक्र है. We have to practice to overcome this kind of things, I think.
Thank you.
I just, nahi, this is several times spoken by Maharaj is about what exactly happened the day they came to know Prabhupada has left his body. It is, I mean, what devotees speak about their realize different parts of the world. Some people came to know at certain time. Some people came to know after 1 hour. Some people came to know about maybe 3, 6 hours. But it was very terrible type of experience. They felt who will guide them. It was appeared everything is darkness. So I think on Prabhupada's disappearance day, usually we are in yatras, That time they speak about it. It is very, very inspiring and touching. Who was where? What was he doing that time when he heard this news? And what happened to him? What were the thoughts? It's very, very, very pathetic. Not he'll be there always. I just remembered what Maharaj.
Yes, bro.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Maharaj, yeah, Maharaj was also in the. He came to know late. So after that, he was giving devotees what they're going through. He said, of course, it is a very heartbreaking thing. It is. It is not something we can philosophically. Oh, we knew it, but it really the heart breaks. But Prabhu, this one common question people ask. Maybe you must be tired of hearing. Why did Arjuna cry when he heard that his son is? Now he had already heard Bhagavad Gita.
That in Prabhu spoke, it's connected with the emotions. So even person is philosophical or not philosophical, it's connected with emotions. There goes away, person will cry. Even person is philosophical still. I remember when my father expired 3 4 years 3 years back. So 35 years I was away from home. I was in Brahmashira 35 years. No connections. I was once a year going and meeting. But still when I heard, I was in Madurai, I just taking darshan and coming out from temple. When I heard, I just burst out. So it's emotions. Although I spoken about this classes about I go counseling and all these places. And hundreds of times I've spoken these classes. But when my father expired, I just cried. I was alone there. It's natural. It's not like I'm depending on or I have some to get from them. Nothing like that. But still, you have that connection. It emotion for some time at least you feel that. So, but in Mahabharata we see two places. Arjuna's son died, Abhimanyu, and he cried, he burst out, and then he continued. He went to kill Jayadratha. Other place, Dronacharya, he just heard Ashwatthama died. He gave up. And he lost the whole thing. So this lamination of show will be there, emotions will be there, but what after that? You continue or give up? So the Dronacharya gave up, he lost. Arjuna, although he but he continued. That's two different things.
In Madhva Sampradaya, we are also from Madhva. See that brahmacharis, those who are renounced, they don't attend funeral. They don't go. So when I mean, this is a time you should be going and preaching, no? To make it like how we are saying that you chant, you do kirtan. But it seems there is so much shoka there, so it affects people. So that's why they don't go. ऐसा कुछ है. Have you? Huh? अच्छा, marriage we can understand. Yeah, desire आएगा किधर? Both, lot of happiness and lot of shoka. अच्छा, this is extreme. So they don't attend. But how? But shoka, it will give the realistic picture of life. Now you should get more inspired. शोका से कैसे affect होगा? I am just asking like this. Happiness I can understand, because you want to be detached from all the worldly. Uh, but शोका will be little more detached, no? Detached हो जाएगा, huh?
But when we are dealing with our own shoka, then difficult to handle. No? If our personal connection with that person or family member is there, no? So then we get affected
By their shoka.
by the emotions. The emotions become overwhelming. So then we get affected by it. Yeah, so therefore we try to, yeah.
We see it as an opportunity to preach. I mean, not necessarily philosophy, but going and doing kirtan is also very much appreciated, as Mataji said. A very
No for them. Yeah, because every day is talking about the same thing and same thing. Because
Actually, Sutak is for that only,
yeah.
to speak about that person. That's called Sutak.
Hmm.
For 10 days, you come and appreciate about that person. And that's what they call, they don't go like a temple and all these
Hmm.
places. So, but for 3 days, it's a local rule. 3 days, nobody can go their house. They have only their house members, and then after 3 days, they can go and speak to them like that.
Hmm.
Still, and after
Yeah.
even we have some programs, we don't do program before 3 days. After 3 days, 4 days
Yeah.
only we
Yeah.
can go and do some spiritual program also like that.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Very nice discussion by you all. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shrimad Bhagavad Mahapuran ki jai. Hare Krishna.
When we are alive, make best use of it. Don't worry.
है ना चैतन्य कृपा प्रभु हाउ कैन आई गेट रीड ऑफ हिम